there, welcome to NTV English News Bulletin. I am Bhavana Casey. In the beginning, we have the headlines. Preparations for the November 20 elections nearing completion, with logistics reaching majority of places, candidates busy canvassing to woo the voters. President Bhandari heading to Iceland today to participate in Reykjavik's Global Forum, slated to deliver a keynote speech. WMO warns Earth's warming weather and rising seas getting worse than before, says sea level rising at 5 millimeters a year. And Sabalenka stuns world number 1 Swiatek in semi-final showdown of WTA finals to face Garcia for the singles title. Welcome back. We are with NTV English News Bulletin. Now we have the news in details. With just 13 days left for the election to the House of Representatives and Provincial Assembly members, election-related activities are at its peak across the country. While political parties and candidates are busy in campaigns to woo the voters, the Election Authority too is doing its part to hold elections on the scheduled day of the November 20. The task of ferrying the ballot papers and other election logistics to the districts and running voters' education program are being done simultaneously. Mock voting are being organized at various local levels to educate the voters on how to vote and to reduce the number of the invalid votes. In the mock voting, voters cast their imitation ballot in a total of 4 ballot papers. Mock voting is organized with an aim to minimize the number of invalid votes, tease the voters about ways to vote and rules that needs to be followed while casting their ballots. There will be 4 types of ballot papers in the elections to the House of Representatives and Provincial Assembly members that is going to be held on November the 20. Voters will have to put their votes first in the House of Representatives, first past the post candidates, second to the PR candidates, while it will be followed by casting the ballots to the first past the post category of the Provincial Assembly election, then after to the proportional representation candidates vying for the Provincial Assembly. President Vidyadevi Bhandari is scheduled to deliver a keynote speech in the Reykjavik's Global Forum taking place in Iceland on November 8 to 10. President Bhandari is leaving for Iceland today evening to attend the Reykjavik's Global Forum Women Leaders, co-hosted by women political leaders, the Government of Iceland and Parliament of Iceland, according to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Women political leaders has decided to confer this year the prestigious WPL Trailblazer Award on President Bhandari. The award is presented to incumbent and former women presidents and prime ministers in recognition of the achievements of the leading women politicians. The outstanding amount of refinance provided by Nepal Rashtra Bank remained at 108.49 billion rupees in mid-September 2022. As of mid-September this year, the outstanding concessional loan is 213.23 billion rupees, extended to 147,926 borrowers, of which 139.67 billion rupees has been extended to 60,302 borrowers for selected commercial, agriculture and the livestock businesses, according to the central bank. The report released by the central bank is based on 2 months' data ending mid-September of the current fiscal year. Likewise, 70.10 billion rupees in loan has been extended to 84,790 women entrepreneurs. With this update, time to go for a short break, but still to come we have. Welcome back. Now to more updates. 49 people have died and 25 are still missing due to the monsoon-induced disasters and road accidents in Karnali province in the 2nd and 3rd week of October. 74 persons were injured in various disaster-related incidents in the province. The highest casualties were reported in Jumla and Mugu due to the disasters triggered by the incessant rains in the 2nd and second and the half of the third week of October, according to Krishna Bahadur Rokaya, the disaster contact person at the Karnali Province Government's Ministry of Internal Affairs and Law. As all leaders meet this week at COP27 to negotiate new deals on lowering emissions to mitigate against the effects of the changing climate, some countries are feeling particularly hard hit. Nepal as a nation doesn't emit the greenhouse gases many countries do around the world, yet Nepal ranks in the top 10 most at risk from the effects of the climate change. Farmers in the country have now found nature-based ways to adapt. A simple farming technique is transforming the fortunes of farmers living there, and it can be found in their own backyard. The farmers have started using the permaculture system, mulching, growing fodder caps on the hillside, and using the natural pesticides and the fertilizers. They mix liquid fertilizers, mixing cow urine, cow dung, pulses and jaggery to prepare the fertilizer. The farmers are now using this fertilizer with very positive results, and many of the farmers have stopped using chemicals. These practices are also reducing the negative impacts on the environment. Earth's warming weather and rising seas are getting worse and doing so faster than before. The World Meteorological Organization warned in a somber note as world leaders started gathering for the international climate negotiations. In its annual state of the climate report, the United Nations Weather Agency said that sea level rise in the past decade was double what it was in the 1990s, and since January 2020 had jumped at a higher rate than that. The report highlights the summer's incredible flood in Pakistan that killed over 1,700 people and displaced 7.9 million, a crippling 4-year drought in East Africa, the Yangtze River drying to its lowest level in August, and the record heat waves broiling people in Europe and China. With this update, time to go for a short break, but still to come we have. Welcome back. Now to more updates. U.S. President Joe Biden addressed supporters at Sarah Lawrence College in Westchester, New York on Sunday at a campaign event for New York Governor Kathy Hochul ahead of the midterm elections. During the rally, Biden said that democracy is literally on the ballot on Tuesday. He also warned of the Republican efforts to get rid of the Affordable Care Act and promised to veto any attempt to pass a nationwide ban on abortion should Republicans gain control of the Congress. More than 39 million people have already voted in an election that will decide control of Congress and key governorships. A fire broke out at a 35-story building in Dubai early on Monday near the Burj Khalifa, the world's tallest building. It was not immediately clear if there were any injuries in the blaze at the high-rise apartment building. Black char marks from the blaze could be seen stretching up the building. That's part of the series of towers called Boulevard Walk by Emaar, the state-backed developer in the Emirates. A series of fires in tall buildings in the skyscraper-studded Dubai in recent years have revived questions about the safety of cladding and other materials used in the country. To more updates, but before that, let's have the highlights first. Now to tennis, now to sports. Number 7 seeded Aryna Sabalenka stunned world number 1 Iga Swiatek 6-2, 2-6, 6-1 in the 2-hour and 7-minute semi-final showdown at Fort Worth, USA. Sabalenka prevailed in her tour-leading 28th match set of the season to reach her third final of the year. It's also her first win over the world number 1 in their 5 meetings this season, holding Swiatek's undefeated run at the 2022 WTA Finals. Sabalenka will now face number 6 seeded Caroline Garcia for the singles title of the WTA Finals on Monday. Sri Lankan cricketer Danushka Gunathilaka was holding unwell, his lawyer Ananda Amarnath said on Monday. Gunathilaka has been charged over the sexual assault of a woman after being arrested in his Sydney hotel early on Sunday. Talking to the local media outside court in Sydney on Monday, Amarnath said that his client is holding unwell, considering the circumstances, and that he has the full support of the High Commission, the Sri Lankan High Commission and the Sri Lankan Cricket Board. Police say detectives began an investigation on Saturday after receiving reports that the 29-year-old woman had been sexually assaulted at a Rose Bay home in Sydney's eastern suburbs earlier in the week. Well, with this update, we come to the end of this English News Bulletin, but before we say goodbye, let's have a quick reminder of the major stories. Preparations for the November 20 elections nearing completion, with logistics reaching majority of places, candidates busy canvassing to woo the voters. President Bandari heading to Iceland today to participate in Reykjavik's global forum, slated to deliver a keynote speech. WMO warns Earth's warming weather and rising seas getting worse than before, says sea level rising at 5 millimeters a year. And Sabalenka's tennis world #1 Swiatek in semi-final showdown of WTA finals to face Garcia for the singles title on Monday. That's all we have in this edition of English News Bulletin. I'll see you again with next round of English Bulletin at 6 in the evening. Till then, have a great time ahead and stay tuned with us. Namaste.